Got
it.
it.
There we go. Here we are,
Awesome.
recording.
I think we're recording. Hello, internet. Hey, community. This is Sean Glaze. I use they, them pronouns. I'm with King County Equity Now, and I'm here with
Latanya Severe. I use she, her pronouns. Also at King County Equity Now.
Awesome. Very official us.
Yeah.
And we run a lot of the research that comes out of King County Equity Now. And we just thought doing a podcast would be a really great way to connect with people, like share what we're hearing, and also just, invite more people to have different ways of engaging with the process, something more accessible. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of hate having to read walls and walls of text if I can avoid it. So, we just figured something like this would be a good idea. Today, like many days, we're going to be talking about the summer fall research project. Very exciting. It's a community-based participatory research process. And I'll start us out by talking about what it is and what's going on. And then we'll spend a little bit more time talking about who and all of those details a little bit later. Most of these podcasts will be about 10 to 15 minutes, so pretty short. But we also do daily teach-ins. We have some morning times and we have evening times, and we're really just trying to make it as easy as possible for people to, participate, ask questions, chat with each other. So yeah. And I think that with that, I'll go ahead and just jump in. So what we're talking about is, today is July, very end of July, 2020. This month, two coalitions. One is King County Equity Now, which is a coalition made up of dozens of Black-led organizations here in the Seattle area and King County. And then there's another coalition that's made of several Black, Indigenous, POC orgs and allies called Decriminalize Seattle. They're cool. We partnered together to put together a proposal, a blueprint really, of what we should do with the police budget, which was basically cut it in half of the remaining budget and reinvested in community solutions, community safety, community health, and really just, really start to take steps to do right, to address all the harm that's been caused over a long time. That is, we've had so many organizations organizing around decades and decades of, trying to make this harm stop. So it's okay, now's the time, let's do something. So we put together a blueprint, which is on Decriminalize Seattle's website. It's also shared a lot in social media, and it kind of goes through 4 different points of what the reinvested money could look like. And the first point is doing a community-based, community-led research project. And so that's what we're talking about today. This project is, I don't know, one of the most exciting things ever, at least for me. As a research nerd, I love it. But basically, what's exciting about it is explicitly about leaning on and really leveraging the expertise we have as community members. So all of the things that I hear so many times this week are people hey, I already know what makes actual community safety and health. I live this. Maybe I'm in an organization that's part of it, or I just know because I've seen so many great examples of what the world could look like when we're not being pursued by people who are likely to harm us and they are to help us. It's I know that already. I've even heard people say that, they're this would be a really easy thing for me to do. It's great. Usually when the city wants to know something, they pay people to find out the answer for it. And this process is really just another way to do that. It is finding the experts on what works, finding the experts on, what is really important to study and know in a community, and paying those experts. And here it's community members. And we'll talk more about who that is and what orgs are, but I do think that's really an important piece. And when I say community members, we're very explicit in our proposal that we are talking about Black people. We're talking about BIPOC people, so that's Black, Indigenous, and people of color. We're talking about Black and brown people, really just leading this process, because for so long, in so many ways. We've been locked out of the ability to have our solutions highlighted, to have them taken seriously, to have them listened to. So, you know, I won't go into too many details, but we do have the blueprint on the website, and we have been talking to several community members, several community orgs, trying to let people know more about it, you know, having people help us shape this proposal. I don't want you to think that it's all, you know, one person writing this out. Like, it has definitely been in partnership with community members, especially explicitly Black and Brown people. And so I'm really excited about it.
All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about who can be a researcher. Who's a researcher? Really, you don't need any special skills. You don't have to have any letters behind your name or have gone and taken a bunch of research methods classes. That is not required. As Sean already said, there are people in the community who have answers to what is needed to keep you safe, keep your family and friends and community safe, and provide the health and reduce harm. So we would like you to be our researchers. Just a few examples. It could be an entertainer, or entertainment promoter, community advocate, students, elders. We want young people to come out and you know, get out into the community and talk to folks and get answers about what is going to make the community safer. And so it doesn't matter what your day job is, whether you have a day job, regardless of who you are, what you're doing. If you're curious about answering questions like what's going to make the community safe, what's a community-led, community-based safety model looks like, that's who we would like to join the research group. Anybody who wants to build relationships in the community, or be accountable to your community, and who are committed to answering these questions, you're the folks we're looking for. And so if you're even just a little bit interested in being a researcher, reach out, and we'll provide you with some just basic parameters for how to collect information, and we'll send you out to do what you do best, and that's talking to people and getting information about the questions that are being asked, and then bringing that back and working together to kind of sift through that and figuring out what the majority of individuals think are good ideas for the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
anything to add on that? And we will pay you. Yeah, that's right. I know a lot of times you get folks from government who come in and they want to get, you know, this expertise from the community, but that's really on a volunteer free information going towards the government, government employee who is being paid to just be there to talk to you. And so, yeah, this is a great opportunity to infuse some money into the community, get people to be paid for the time that they're going to put into this. And really, I think it would be a really fun project for anyone who's just curious or interested about going out into their community and talking to folks about what a great public safety, community-led public safety system kind of looks like.
Yes, absolutely. And I guess, like, if you're interested to know more details around like that payment process and what that looks like, I do think one of the misconceptions that I'm realizing that came up in one of the earlier teach-ins is they're like, are you going to pay like people to do the research or pay people to like participate in the research? And like the answer is like, yes, both of those. We're going to pay people to do things like focus groups or interviews or like events or like community conversations, but also the people who come to those things will also be paid for their expertise and for their time. So just want to put out there, if you were to look at the proposal itself, which the full proposal for the research is 12 million, but we're looking at 3 million at least initially. It's like, if you look at just like the staffing and the training and support item, that's over like $1 million just there, like hiring community members to like do this important work. Can you tell us more about the orgs and what that looks like?
For sure. So the community orgs, just some of the specifics that we're looking for. We're looking for BIPOC-led organizations, particularly those with youth leadership and or a youth advisory council. organizations that have experience with people who have had firsthand experience with policing systems, experience with Black youth, organizations that have experience centering the experience of BIPOC people who are LGBTQ plus. Additionally, those working with BIPOC youth in culturally responsive ways that promote youth leadership. Also, people who are overrepresented in the juvenile justice system, foster care, or people who are experiencing homelessness. And also experience with people, organizations who have experience with people with disabilities. So the main highlights is BIPOC-led orgs, youth-led, LGBTQ+, working with those who, in some of these systems, juvenile justice system and foster care, and those with disabilities are primary focus.
Yes, and we were really intentional putting together this proposal to really think about like who are the people who are usually most left out of the solutions, who have like unique expertise on like what would make the change, like what would make the world a better place. And I think if you're like if you're still newer to this and you're sort of trying to imagine what that looks like, I think one easy example is eligibility requirements. There are many systems that are like dependent on each other. So like if you get free and reduced lunch, for example, that might make you eligible for like the SPS program. That's like you have to have free reduced lunch and never had internet before, and you can be eligible for free internet. It's like, okay. But if you're not someone that's eligible for free and reduced lunch and you're still really low income, or if you're someone that is eligible but you would never apply because of concerns around how that information would be used, then you're prevented from accessing supports and things that you would actually need to be able to live and thrive. And many times the people who make these policies or these decisions, they don't live it, so they don't realize like how far reaching like these choices are. But the people who live it like intimately, like, no, like actually, no, like, do you really want to fix this problem? You need to change this, 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 and this. So we really were very intentional putting together this list to really try to highlight as many people at those intersections, at that area of expertise. I see that we're just about at time. I do want to say what's one thing that I realized, especially hearing Latanya kind of go through the orgs and the who, is like when I describe like the what about the research project, I think something that stands out for people newer to this is like how much of the funds are going towards like really just meeting like direct needs in order to be able to collect good data. So we talk about being able to do things like cash assistance and nutritional support and transportation and childcare as ways to remove the barriers to participate in a project like this. We talk about COVID related support, like being able to get things like masks and certain other like concrete resources so that people can stay alive and be healthy and safe while learning about community safety and health. And so I would encourage people to kind of, keep in conversation with us. You don't have to read the big old document. It's like kind of boring, I know, for like, it's not exactly like deliciously pretty, but like, I do think, one-on-one conversations, group conversations, things like this are like, they're more fun. And often like you'll get some really cool insights when you're talking to people that you wouldn't get just staring at, the screen. So I think we're going to sign off, but Latanya, did you want to say more about like when we're meeting with people?
So we will be doing teach-ins over the next several days, every day. Some days there'll be 2, most days there'll be 2, and I'll go in the morning and Sean will do the evening. And some days it'll be the both of us doing one for everyone. So if you're interested, we will be sending out an Eventbrite. You'll sign up on there, and then we'll send you the link so that you can have a conversation with us and ask your questions about the research and how you can be involved.
Yes. And if you ever want more information, definitely sign up for our coalition, KingCountyEquityNow.com. An actual person reads the emails, often multiple actual people. So if it's related to research, it'll usually get forwarded to me or Latanya. So please, let us know like what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and we'll just be really happy to hear from you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna sign off and just remind people that this is like not edited, so that if there's
Yeah.
anything.
This is our first one, so be graceful. We'll be better next time.
Love it. No promises from me. All right, bye
All
y'all.
right, bye.